quickly here, a great plug for F5. There are so many tools to use. So many things that we're just touching on a couple tonight to show how you do it. I mean, some of you guys are already pros at this stuff, and to you all, I apologize. We'll talk more at the bar about other stuff you want. But for those of you who haven't played with any of these things yet, I mean, come on, we don't know anything. So now let's go find some customers and see what they think. And so when we're talking about the keywords you can use to find potential customers, and then also draw them to you and collect emails. Nothing better than opt-in when you finally decide I'm going to go forward with something. I don't hate this one, I don't hate this one. I'm going to stick with it. So let's get your email and maybe you can beta test something. So we talked a lot tonight. But why? Down validation. Please do not forget this. We've had our risky assumption paradigm. We're going to be able to test these assumptions that we have. And so please remember what I said about being a cold lover. That's the first thing you must learn tonight. Be ready to cut these ideas loose. And if you can do that, you are miles ahead of a lot of folks. So I said this to you. This is the point. Learn to hate your idea. Get rid of it. I hate this idea. It's no good. And then otherwise, you don't hate it. It's something worth keeping. And who's read Lean in here? Lean Startup? And all this stuff that we're talking about tonight is aspects of Lean. And so we're talking about the solution hypothesis to your problem hypothesis. You're talking about the core assumptions, how people feel truly. Do you have a problem that you're solving? Do they have a problem that you're solving? Will they staple money to your forehead about that? So we looked at MTurk. Something I love, something I really love, because of something I call the Pacific Northwest NICE, is in-person interviews. Depending on what you're doing, can you go out and find folks? You have to bust into somebody's office to interview somebody. And you know what? I think this is why Steve Blank says carry with you some bail money. Now what bail money is going to be, because get out of the office. You can't find out anything in the office. Well, I mean, you can actually. You can get on the phone. That's also getting out of the office. Go and talk to people. See what they're thinking. You see a lot in body language. So someone could be saying to you, "Oh yes," but the body language says no. You need to know this. And so when you're finding out what you're trying to preemptively answer a bunch of your questions, like he said, when you're done learning, you'll know a lot of that stuff through the body language people give you. They say they like this, but I see this guy really hates it. I see this one really hates it. I see that one really hates it. And you're going to steer your questions the right way. Yes, Michelle.
So what if maybe I wanted to interview somebody from Kansas? Does it work to use like Skype or?
Yeah, that's fine. You should, yes, absolutely do Skype or Google Hangout if you can, if they'll do that with you. It's better than not using it. If you can see them, but there's nothing like sitting right in front of someone. We'll talk about, there are lots of other things we said, the Kickstarter, we'll have landing page stuff to talk about tonight. And so a couple goals of all the stuff, we talked about them. One, if you can actually get money with an MVP that you're building, terrific. Otherwise, you're getting people your time, maybe their email, even an LOI. These are all reasons to be doing some of these experiments. You're learning, and can they give you money at the same time? That's terrific. And so we're talking about three things tonight. Keyword search, building landing pages to capture emails, and then my homage to Dave, who is the blogging champion. Obviously Justin is too, but creating content. So if we go beyond saying, is this an idea I should pursue, to this is an idea I'm going to pursue, becoming a thought leader with content creation. So here are some of the keyword research tools. Everybody's heard SEO Moz. It's one of our special ones here in town. All these things can be, you can get them for free or basically get an upgraded model to pay for. One of the best things that I found to use to see if people out there really are checking out this idea is just using keywords, Google keywords. And I'll show you the tool here in a second, even though I know it's going to be a little hard to read on this. I'll get close and tell you what's on there, plus you'll be able to see this tomorrow. But I have a search term.
Daniel, all the slides are already up on.
Oh, good. Rock on.
You kparker.com, they're already there.
Good, so good. So you'll be able to see this stuff a little closer, but does anybody care about this at all? Does anybody care at all? So I just took a screenshot of the page. I just went to AdWords. And AdWords lets me check this out. So it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, you've got a bunch of disparate ideas. We've got fitness over here. We've got internships, not internships, but apprenticeships. Thank you, over here. So if you were going to go and try to find out what's going on with it, what would you search for? So single words, longer tail words. Here, and I use this because it's an example of one of the FI graduates that I happen to know fairly well. Trip planning. Does anybody care about trip planning? Let's just see what people think about trip planning. So I tossed it in there, and all of a sudden I can see a couple of things. Trip planning. I know that just the term trip planning is searched. So they give me a couple things here. The global monthly searches or local monthly searches. Local, by the way, that's these United States, and global is kind of everything else. I'm seeing 368,000 people typed in last month trip planning. And then I see a bunch of other keywords that are pretty important too. So, okay, it's different permutations. Trip plan, or trip plan Disney, or planning a trip to Italy. Now, this is important stuff for later on too. First, it's going to tell me, do people care about this stuff at all? Something I didn't do and I kind of wish I would have is, I wanted to throw in something like Balinese cocktail. Let's say I want to do a business for a Balinese cocktail. It's awesome. I had one when I was in Bali, and everyone's going to want one, right? Well, if I would have thrown that in there, it would have happened like this, you know? Internationally, maybe 1,000 people a month look for that. Probably all in Bali when they're on a trip there. Nobody locally would have looked for that, and I would have realized this is not a good idea. Whereas trip planning, and this is kind of a fun one and it's an easy one. Everyone knows how big of a market the travel market is. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. You know, maybe itinerary planning, we dig a little deeper, but see, are people searching for this? And you can see lots and lots of them are. The other thing too then is there's this competition piece here that says, how competitive is that word? That's for later on, if you decide you want to do some search engine marketing. And I'll tell you, I don't want to compete for plan a trip to Italy, because it's going to be a very, very expensive word. There are a couple lawyers in the room. You guys have the most expensive keywords, I think, of all. That's the most competitive side of things, if you wanted to know. But this is how you use keywords just to see if it's worth moving forward. And then next, you're going to say, okay, pretty interesting. I think that I've got something that's got a little juice to it. You know what I need to do? I need to, as I'm continuing to interview folks, as I'm continuing to work on this idea and dial it in, it'd be great if I had folks to really test my MVP when I have it. And not just my friends and family, because we know they're liars and they're just going to tell us what we want to hear. So let's build a landing page. Let's build a landing page, and maybe something that catches emails on there too. So I can ask these folks, like Dave said, get 50 to sign up, get 500 to sign up. So there's a bunch of landing page tools here. I actually enjoy one of them, LaunchRock, the one right up top here. It looks like this. Oops. So you can go to LaunchRock and build some really cool landing pages. We're keeping this pretty simple. There's some other things we could do too, which would, create a site with some more tabs with a blog. We'll talk about that in a bit. But LaunchRock is nice, and what you can end up doing is creating something that looks like this. Globe spinning. It's this new site we're creating, and why don't you go ahead and, if you are interested in this product, sign up. Give us your email. They've got scores and scores of emails now. Just by having this landing page up, people are saying, we want to test this thing. Help us test this thing.
How do you drive traffic?
So it's a good question. There are, obviously, you're looking for keywords in the first place. Would people be looking at this? This is not terribly well optimized. Obviously, it's just a landing page, but you can be sending folks to this, and then there's going to be a blog component to this that helps people connect. They've got a bunch of social media aspects as well. Twitter, Facebook, they're on Pinterest. And so these are the ways that they're sending traffic to it now. And SEO. So you don't want to pay for a lot of stuff. Everyone knows search engine optimization. There's SEM, which is search engine marketing. There's kind of two sides of this. Organic search engine optimization, is the search that happens on the left side of the page underneath of the sponsored tiles at the very top. What you're looking at here, and this also works with some of the keyword search that we had before, like SEO Moz and Rank Tracker. You're going to be able to say, okay, what are the long tail words that everybody's looking for, and what data does that give me if I find them? And so, again, using some of that stuff, and this is it's Link Assist that we're using here on a free tool. You'll be able to see it when you see closer. You're looking this stuff up. You're seeing looking at the index to say what's the best words to use, and then what you can do is build yourself a blog, tag your articles. In fact, come up with the articles you want to write based on what's the highest ranking word. So when I'm searching for stuff, and everyone out there is, I'm going to come up highest. And then some of these tools, these SEO tools, will tell you where you rank. And there's all kinds of screenshots I could have given you on this, where you rank compared to your competitors. It's kind of fun listening to Dave talk about where his blog ranks, and when he's using this process to do keyword, he does his keyword search, and then he starts to write based on, hey, I see people are behaving this way. I'm going to tag my blog with some of these longer tail keywords. Oh, look, I'm number 1 on this one thing versus all the other people in the world. And those competitors that I have, I see this one's number 5, this one's number 10. I see I'm ranked 5,000 in this area. I want to get better there, so do the keyword search again, and all of a sudden, not only are you a thought leader, and people can find you, but you're going to rank pretty high. And so this goes from the place of, should I even be playing in this area? Here are the keywords to tell me. And again, if it's not that high, it's not a big market, kill it. Cold eyes. And then, to building your... I'm stopping. Get a call.
Okay, everybody, gather around. Hopefully this person doesn't hang up. And then try and be quiet. Hi, my name is Justin. Can I get your first name, please? Hi, Howie. How are you doing tonight? Good, my man. So thanks so much for calling. You have a friend or family member who runs late, huh?
Yeah, my friend is like always replaced.
No kidding. Awesome. So, what's your friend's just first name, just so we can get to know him? Brian. Awesome. So, can you tell me a story about the last time Brian was late?
Last weekend or Saturday, we were supposed to have dinner at a place. He said we were like carpooling together, so he said he would meet at my place at 5. Ended up being late by like 5:30, 5:40. That was for dinner with my friend.
I see. So, like, what kind of negative repercussions happened because of that for you?
Negative repercussions. I guess I had to wait, but I guess I'm so used to it.
So, how consistently does this happen when you're doing stuff with Brian?
Usually late. I would say give or take 15 minutes.
Okay. And is that pretty much every time you just know that Brian's going to be 15 minutes late?
Yeah, like 10 minutes. Don't worry about it.
Gotcha. And is there any any reason why this is like annoying to you or anything, or is it just sort of like, yeah, that's the way Brian is?
He gives excuses, but like different every time. Like, oh, I had to help out someone in the house, etc.
Sure. But clearly you're still friends with Brian. It's not that big of a deal, yeah?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. Okay, so Brian's got a smartphone, yeah? You said he had an Android. That's great. Have you ever, purchased an app let me ask about you first. Have you ever purchased an app for yourself?
An app, but not on. I don't have a smartphone.
Oh, gotcha. No, that makes sense. Have you ever purchased, and it's going to sound weird, have you ever purchased an app for someone else in their smartphone? No. Okay. Would you ever, if there was an app out there that could help Brian be on time, would you ever buy one for him?
This particular case, I just want to say no.
Yeah?
Because when he's home, he doesn't look at his phone.
Gotcha. And why do you think that is?
I think it's just a habit. I think he just expects people to like, he knows when he's home, which is called an out.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. And if you had to guess why Brian is late, what would you say that is? Why would you say that is?
Procrastination, probably.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, and just lose track of time.
Yeah.
So I get like a time management.
Time management, awesome. All right, my friend. Well, thanks so much, Howie, for your time. The password you need is watermelon.
Watermelon. Just how it's like.
That's it.
Okay, any S in the end or no S?
Nope, no S, just one singular watermelon.
Okay, watermelon.
Have a good one, my man.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye.
What's the French version?
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how you talk to a customer,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
And then you get them to call in.
Because at that point, there was something really interesting he said. Let's say he said he would have bought, and you want to be able to connect with them in the future.
Sure.
Would you say, hey, can I call you back?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm gonna answer that.
Let's move on to kind of following up on what you next.
You guys want to take 10 minutes real quick? You can grab a drink or something else?